Schneider! Oh, he's begging for!
Down! Al 20esimo, Balotelli, Mario Balotelli.
Coleman, a little dink into the middle. Oh, what about that? What about that?
And a shot! Super strike!
It is simply unbelievable. Turkey have won.
Panenka! Oh, it's genius! It is going to Rome.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a No Nonsense podcast. The last 16, Will. What do you think? They came, they went. A lot of goals, a lot of results.
The tournament has now turned into my favorite type of international tournament, where every game, the football doesn't matter. There's something else going on all the time. It's the other stuff. I love all the other stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I'm seeing a lot of people saying this, that like this is the worst tournament ever in their memory. I'm thinking, all right, what's my algorithm? What's my echo chamber? Yeah. British Isles, right?
yeah.
Irish people not in the tournament. England playing really badly. Scotland lying on the tournament. They got played out of the tournament by a brass band, you know. I was like, this is actually the worst tournament that's ever been ever. It's so boring, and the games are bad. Like, the games are always bad, you know. It's knockouts.
Football's rarely good.
One of my favorite jokes ever in Modern Family, you know, the American guy. He's like going out with the Colombian wife.
Oh, yeah.
And he gets dragged to a bar to watch a Colombia game. And he's like, "Oh, how'd you get on the game, Jay?" He's like, "It was 1-1, and one of the goals was an accident." It's like that's such a perfect joke. You know what I mean? It's like that always happens. Like, how many own goals you had in this tournament? You know?
Yeah, literally, it's the top scorer still.
1-1, and one of the goals was an accident. It's like, yeah, well, if you say it like that, it looks bad, but it is a good sport.
Yeah, it is. It's generally, especially in international tournaments, it's normally like 70 minutes of this is fine, and then maybe the last 20 minutes will be exciting.
We were saying this about the Champions League as well, that when you watch every single game in minute details, like this is wrong. This is really there's big gaps in the good teams and the bad teams. But then you watch like a highlights of the whole tournament. Wow, what a 10 months that was of football. It's like, no, that was the best moments from it. Wrapped up into 2 minutes. You do all the best moments from this World Cup or from this Euros. I mean, obviously we'll talk about the Bellingham moment, but even the first game, the goal he scores, the Arda Güler goal, all
the screamers from outside the box in the group stage.
Yeah, you put together a package of this Euros, it's like, wow, that was a tournament and a half, you know. I mean, if you ask the Georgians, if we were Georgian, Will, do you think people would be saying this is the worst World Cup ever? Or I keep saying World Cup, worst Euros ever, worst international tournament. But I've enjoyed it so far. And then, like I said, this last 16 has been a lot of off-field stuff and circus stuff around, trying to distract from the football.
So good. I think it is a sign, though. We'll get to it in a sec, but it is a sign that maybe this round wasn't the most exciting, judging by the reaction to Bellingham's bicycle kick, which I would say is probably the 20th best goal in this tournament. But it's been spoken about as like an all-time great moment in sport. It's like, no, it wasn't. He fell. He fell backwards.
He fell. This was Jude Bellingham, not Lukaku, who scored this goal. You know, Jude Bellingham never played badly for Man United.
Yeah, but this is the thing: is that I think after the game, Harry Kane said it was one of the greatest goals in England history, and you know, like Bellingham said, it's the most important goal he's ever scored.
Definitely.
And I was thinking, like, it just seems crazy. They scored after it. They scored a winner after it.
You know why it's the most important goal Bellingham's ever scored? Because he hasn't fucking shown up on the group outside the group stage of Champions League. That's why he doesn't do against big teams, Will.
I think that's what it was mostly, is that England were so bad and then they got this lifeline that it just feels like, oh, that's not fair though.
Yeah, well, that's what people are saying. It's the best England goal, or it's up there the best England goals. I mean, I'm not an England goal aficionado. I can't name off all their goals. The goal I'm thinking of that I see always, rammed down my throat is the Gaza goal.
Yeah, I was thinking as well.
Against Scotland. But that was a group stage against Scotland, who, as we've covered, have never got out of the group stages. So,
Yeah. I don't know how much jeopardy they were in.
yeah. The other one is the Michael Owen one, where he ran really fast and scored against Argentina. And they lost that game. I think this goal is because there was no chance that they were going to, score a goal any other way than like this kind of a moment of magic.
Similar to us, the RTE pundits, you could just feel when it went back to them, they were fuming. They were so annoyed that England scored. Even they showed Bellingham celebrating after the goal, where he's doing this, he's flapping his hands.
Who else?
At the England fans, I think. Who else would score but me?
I can't believe he said that. That's insane.
Kane is standing beside him, doing the Bellingham also, just like, mate.
They both did the Kane, they both did the Bellingham. It was like, and he's like, who else but Jude Bellingham? I was like, you're Jude Bellingham. You can't say it about yourself.
Did you see what he posted after the game?
No.
He posted like a long inspirational quote about being an alpha on Instagram.
No, he didn't.
I swear to fuck. And a lot of the comments are like,
He's an
man,
alpha.
you scored against Slovakia.
Man.
And then also, someone had a great point on Twitter or X about we are witnessing the first ever athlete to have grown up with alpha memes rather than cartoons.
Yeah, stoicism. He's just so stoic.
Yeah.
He doesn't really, listen to music or women. I just kind of think on my destiny. I mean, look, I'd say for the jeopardy and the last minute nature of it, it was up there. But I saw all people get into semantics. It's like, it wasn't really a bicycle kick, because the bicycle kick, you need to have that bicycle motion of the other leg kicking out in a balancing moment.
Yeah.
This was more of an overhead kick. I was like, come on, bro.
We can't let them have anything.
Like, I mean, I was being a hitter's rest, I don't want to do it either, but I mean, come on. It wasn't even a bicycle kick, okay? It was an overhead kick, which is like one rung below.
But yeah, it's just that thing. That was their first shot on target for the game. And I think we saw it in our own group chat. There was literally just laughing voice notes being sent in. I'm sure it was like that all across the country and in several other countries. So when it did go in, it was just like, oh, they've gotten away with it. And they're going to win now. Because Slovakia's heads are down.
Yeah, I was so ready to come on here and talk about, where was this Skriniar for PSG? And then they lost 2-1. Like, there he is. No, I mean, look, it's hard to rule out one, to put one player up there as like he did. I mean, the Slovakians were just gas, and they were so close to it. I mean, that last ball they put out, kind of shinned it out for a throw. That usually be fine. It wasn't even a corner, but it just played in. I will say, this is what fantasy football does to you, Will. When that ball went in, my first thought was, did Gahey get the assist? And he did. And we got the assist.
Did you see the clip after the game of England are doing this thing on social media where they're doing like Big Brother style sit down interviews after the games, where you're in like the room with the chair and you're talking directly to the camera. But Bellingham was talking about like after the game, he went to celebrate with Marquis, and he was just trying to slip out of there. He's a quiet guy. He doesn't like it all.
Yeah.
And he's just like, he's talking about him as like, look, he's a great guy, he's like strong, but he's so quiet and all this. And then he goes on to say, and he's only like 3 years older than me. It's like, why are you little brother in this guy?
He's a born leader, this Bellingham fella.
The tide has turned this week on him, definitely. A lot of people are like, fuck this guy.
Well, especially after his message to the haters. Should we play the clip?
Very happy, it's been tough the last week or so to try and keep the negative energy outside of the camp. And I think today they'll have been ready for us. I'm sure you've got a few questions scribbled out on that piece of paper there. But, we showed that kind of character that England's missed, especially in the times of before, and yeah, we showed it today, and it was really important for us to get through.
I think the adrenaline gets you, but it's a combination of a lot of things. You're playing for England is an enjoyable feeling, but it's also a lot of pressure. You hear people talk a lot of rubbish, and it's nice that when you deliver, you can give them a little bit back. It's very difficult in press conferences and interviews and things like that to talk as openly as footballers want to, because they're always judged. And for me, football and being on the pitch, scoring goals, celebrating is my release. And it was maybe a message to a few people, but it was a very happy moment and full of adrenaline.
I think Kevin Doyle described it as not PR perfect afterwards. I mean, a couple of things that you never say. in any job, because there's always someone who has it worse or works harder, is like, we train hard every day. Oh, no one wants to hear that. No one wants to hear that. If you told me, well, you work hard every day, I'm like, fuck off, Will. Do you know what I mean? Because there's always someone who thinks, well, I know someone who fucking works in a mine, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And they have one arm, Jude Bellingham, and they get paid nothing. They're actually a slave, Jude Bellingham, you know? So like,
and I'm friends with him.
and he's my uncle, you know? And he doesn't complain ever, not once. So you say we train hard every day so you can't give out to us. It's like, definitely don't say that ever in any situation.
Yeah.
Then it's like, yeah, it felt good to give back to them. Your own fans?
What the hell was that
Your
about?
own
And again,
fans?
doing the yapping hand motion.
Keep it up.
At the people doing. They're paid to see you.
And like, whatever. I mean, it might seem obvious to me because I'm older and all this, but I mean, we saw, was it 2 years ago when Harry Maguire cupped his ears after scoring that goal?
Yeah.
Was Bellingham playing then? We would have been watching for sure.
He was, he's probably learning.
Like, it doesn't work. Even if you do something, like, no one wants to hear you throw it back at them unless it's opposing fans. They'll hit you regardless.
And they were throwing, it's not like they were throwing at you being like, this guy's a donkey, whatever. That was your first shot on target all game. They were rightfully annoyed.
Well, they said he had played badly. That team had played badly. And on the pitch, they're all like shouting and roaring at each other. And like, they obviously were like, you're losing this game for us. Everyone thought that each other was losing the game. They're all very aware of what's going on. I saw they had Ed Sheeran in to bring Cam to the camp there, play some melodies there for his head. It's all getting a bit tetchy in here. But I mean, yeah, he did play badly and he was playing badly. And it's like, yeah, it felt good to give back to the fans. Like, you're trying to win over your home fans. You give back to the opposing fans. You try and win over your home fans. So you never do that. You never say you're working hard. And then he's like, you know, a lot of expectation, regardless of like what's happened, you know, recently or years ago, basically saying like, all the opponents say we're shite. Well, so are you. So he touched on a lot of things, I guess, about the expectation and the kind of exceptionalism that England have, and we should be winning tournaments, all this stuff. But it's just like, it's not about being right all the time.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're right. It's about saying the right things, and you just need to say, listen, good to get out there with a win. We'll try and improve the next day and get out of there, you know?
Just be boring. Be boring. But this is, I think, is a big problem with England this tournament is on the pitch, very boring. Off the pitch, they're responding to every single statement and question and like poking and prodding. Just ignore it. Let Southgate take the brunt of it. He'll be gone. Like, why does Jude Bellingham need to be hearing what the people are saying, do you know?
Speaking of Southgate, I saw an interview with him after the game. I thought it was one of those AI fake ones. We see him talking about Ivan Toney.
No.
It was literally like it was a fake. I thought it was a fake. I was like, yeah, Ivan Toney looked at me. I could tell he was mad at me. He was obviously raging. I put him on at the last minute. I was like, oh, this is one of these fake ones. And then it was like, it's actually not that outrageous. And I was like, no, this is a real interview because you can see the way his mouth is moving. It was like,
well, I knew Ivan Toney had the hump with me for putting him on. That was the first thing. But I said to him, this could be the moment. And we showed the players presentation about 1966 and how Jeff Hurst hadn't played until the quarterfinals and the difficult route that the team had had. And all along, the players that have come into the games have had a big impact. They've been ready. They've trained well.
Imagine like you go on with 2 minutes to go, like as a striker, and Harry Kane is also still in the pitch. Like, right, I guess I'm just going to be hopefully get the ball to Harry Kane, which is what he did in the end.
Yeah. I'm the lump that you. I'm the guy you're hitting it to.
You're the decoy here. You're going to get up here and try and hold up the ball for Harry Kane. And then he goes, hey, this could be your moment, pal. You're like, I hate you. You know, I really don't like you guys. Okay. But yeah, I also saw Pickford saying that their performances was reminiscent of Portugal winning the Euros in 2016. So then don't worry. There's been teams that have played badly and won before.
Stop playing badly.
No, it's okay. Look at Ronaldo.
You mentioned Bellingham not being PR perfect. He's also in a bit of hot water because after the game, he was caught on camera, not TV camera now, but a fan cam, making a very lewd gesture towards, people thought it was the Slovakia bench, but he came out after and he said that it was actually to his friends. It was an inside joke.
Yeah.
He also used an eye rolling emoji. Is it like, oh, can't do anything these days, you know?
Sorry, I saw that to his friend. It was Anthony Gordon when he fell off the bike. That's what it was. It was the bicycle kick. He fell over. You fell off the bike. That's what it was, wasn't it?
Who knows? But the gesture, again, I don't think I'm a very easily offended man. I saw the gesture and I thought that is pretty lewd, to be honest.
What's lewd? Is
Well, from what I can see, he does something into his hand and then he rubs his hand down in his genitals and makes like a face, like, yeah. And I was like, man, show some class here.
spit in his hand and then rubbed it on his crotch and was like, yeah, have some of that, like lubing himself
It's just
up.
a little joke. It's just something me and my friends do to each other.
Hey, who are we to judge what he does with his homies, kiss the homies goodnight, all that kind of stuff.
So
he
he could
grew up all that stuff, Will. He grew up with all those memes,
Yeah, he's a big Andrew Tate guy, probably.
He kissed his homies goodnight before. What was that one for years? What was that? Is it gay to kiss the homies goodnight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, he could be in hot water. He's under investigation by UEFA. I'm sure nothing will come of that, though. It's too, again, it happened off the pitch and it wasn't on the TV camera. You'll get about it.
Did you see the vox pops of the England fans leaving the stadium before the goal?
I did.
What needs to happen next?
Well, Southgate's gone, isn't he? He's gone on his holiday. Players pick up next 2 years. That's what I can do.
And you're leaving early?
Yeah. Only because we don't want to get caught on strong.
See you later, guys.
He scored. He scored.
Can you see Gareth Southgate surviving this?
No way. He's not coming back after this. I mean, he even said himself, if they don't win this tournament, he's out. And I think that's
This is what I mean, Will. Whatever you might have issues with Pickford, I know you saw Pickford celebrate when he caught what a punchable face he has. But him and maybe Bellingham was like, yeah, the players are whatever, but there's players like that in every team. It's the fans. They left the stadium before. We should probably play some of the clips of like, England are shite, And then he goes, England just scored. And he's like, England. Like literally, and they try to get back in the stadium. It's like this. I remember my dad said this before years ago. They were watching a Carrow game. And I was like, this is boring. Let's leave. We're getting hammered. I was a kid though, He's like, no, you can't leave, right? Because the players can't leave early, so we don't leave early.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's kind of stuck with me. Yeah, that is supporting a team. You're literally here to support. You can't just like leave when the chips are down. And then like
I'm not arsed actually.
Especially like if you've flown to Germany, like let's beat the traffic. It's like back to the hostel. What, like where?
Yeah, the fan zone is where you're going. There's no fans there. They're in the stadium still.
I want to get back to the fan zone and get my talking points about Southgate ready before other people get there. Do you know what I mean? Like, and they're like,
what's that
Southgate's
roar
out.
right here?
He's finished. Get him out of here. I mean, that goal did save Southgate's job.
Yeah.
He's gotten so much wrong. My God. I mean, you look at a team, you're like, what is happening here at all?
It's, again, the overcomplication. And like, just sticking with Foden at left wing. Foden's been terrible. Because he doesn't play there.
Foden wants to come into that number 10 position. Bellingham's playing number 10. And Harry Kane also wants to play that number 10 position.
Yeah.
And then Saka also wants to cut in that number 10 position. It's like they're all coming that one position.
And nothing like it feels like he's not saying no to any of them. He's like, yeah, whatever. As long as you're on the pitch, lads, do whatever you feel like.
The only time I saw this before where it was fixed eventually, but not really, was when Arsenal had Ozil and he was playing that number 10 position. It was great. I was like, wow, this is great. And then they brought in Sanchez. It's like, whoa, two good players, but they both played. Sanchez wanted to cut in at number 10, so they were both very ineffectual playing together.
Yeah.
Now, thankfully for Arsenal, they were never really fit together, so they could interchange. But like, it's one of those things you have to fix that tactical setup. And it's like, to me, there's a very obvious solution there that no one's really talking about. Is that Saka isn't playing well at all.
Yeah.
So like, is it not obvious to take Saka off, put Foden in his main position, and then put Anthony Gordon on the left?
Or Palmer. He seems to hate Palmer.
Well, it's just that you could solve the Foden and Saka thing in one go by dropping Saka.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? And like, okay, Palmer. But this thing, you can't play them all. Clearly, they play in the same position, some of them.
You can play some of them, though.
You can play some of them, but you can't play them all. You have to make hard decisions here, Gareth.
Yeah.
Just so much of it. Like, the fact they have like four or five people in one position and then nobody in left back. They don't have a single fit left back in the squad.
Because he gambled with Luke Shaw. It's like, why are you gambling? You have a country worth of players to pick from.
And like, I don't know where Ben Chilwell is right now. Probably Mykonos or Dubai. But like, whatever his short,
he can do a job.
He's a serviceable left back. Like he won the Champions League a few years ago. He's 27 years of age. He plays in the Premier League. He's fit. Most importantly, he's fit. And he didn't bring him, and he brought 3 right backs instead.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen Kyle Walker got failed comped hard during this game.
Yeah.
For his various mistakes and giving the ball away. Like, again, that could be solved by playing Trippier right back instead of Kyle Walker. Obviously, they don't have left back, so you have to play him there. But if you had, even Aaron Cresswell. I mean, this is somebody who plays left back and can give the ball directly up that wing because Trippier keeps cutting in and again going back into number 10. So get out of that one position. And then that's before he get onto like the whole midfield thing where he didn't know what he was doing there. Like, why did he not bring Calvin Phillips? Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, if he loves him so much.
If he wanted to bring Calvin Phillips, bring him. And there's precedent. There's loads of times where, especially international managers, they just bring players around and play wherever for their club. I mean, Deschamps bringing Kante. He's playing in Saudi Arabia and the first game he looked rusty,
choice.
But it's just like and the thing is he has Camavinga on the bench, but he doesn't want to play him. But like Deschamps is going, but I have to play him because he won the Champions League and people get mad. He's like, no, I'm bringing Kante because I like Kante and I'm going to play him on the bench because whatever. And like, okay, you'd say he's won the World Cup, but I mean, surely Southgate's earned the same cachet with England. Say, listen, I trust Phillips. He sets us up to where they play want to play. Instead, he doesn't bring because he goes, I can't because people be mad at me. And then he's like, he brings Manu because of the clamour and he looks at him like, I don't want to play him though. Can Trent play there? It's like, you're the manager. Who picked the team? It's like someone else picked the team and he's like, how am I going to figure this one out? He didn't bring any left backs. Past Gareth didn't bring any left backs. Now present Gareth has to fix this. It's like, it's just like, it's beyond belief what's going on.
Yeah.
And I think they won the group stages and they got through and it was like top the group and they've won this game and all this. And for any other nation or for most nations, like continually winning and getting to the next stage is like a cause for celebration. But I think for England fans, it's the realization that they're not going to win it.
Yeah. And they're not going to win it. And also, like again, they were bailed out by a last minute bicycle kick. There's no type of plan where that's going to work. Do you know what I mean? Like consistently. And then it's also that thing of like all the players are getting increasingly annoyed by their own fans. It's like this. It's just a fucking disaster. Like,
yeah, I think it's. No, I say that they won't win it. They're looking like they're on course to make the final. Like looking at the way the draw is shaking out, I mean, it looks like they have a pretty good chance. But it's just it's the fear of like what happens when you play Germany or Spain.
Yeah,
and they can only play one of them. But it's like it's the feeling like if we're just scraping over Slovakia, what are the odds are going to beat Germany?
They haven't really come up against anyone really tough yet at all.
No. And I think that we've looked at some of like the Slovenians and Slovakians and again, we use our metric of they'd hammer us, they beat us, which isn't really a metric, but they do have decent players as well. And it's obviously, it's knockout football. So you're going to park the bus and make it tough for teams. And it's hard to break teams down at the best of times. So I don't know if they're like even playing against like terrible crap teams and they can't beat them either. I think these are teams that international tournament who want to win and want to stay in it. And like if Slovakia had got a bicycle kick winner, they wouldn't have cared. What about the style of play, lads? We're not utilizing Skriniar enough. Dubravka gets shaky in there. They would. It's just like because they don't have sides on winning it. I think for England, it's like that they don't feel they're going to win it, and it's like is it a waste of talent, but. I think they've lost this tournament before they even left England with the selection.
Yeah. And it's just unnecessary problems.
I think like even I said Anthony Gordon there. I mean, there's two things with Anthony Gordon, right? He either thinks that Foden out of position is way, way better than Anthony Gordon. Like,
yeah,
Anthony Gordon is worth like 2 minutes at the end of the Slovenia game. I won't bring him any more than that in case he fucks up too much. He's such a liability. I don't want to bring him on case. And then below that is Grealish and Rashford. He thinks they're even worse than that again.
Yeah.
Or he thinks, I can't bring Rashford and Grealish because there isn't any clamour and I'll be accused of big club bias.
Yeah,
and then Gordon's had an objectively good season, so I have to bring him, but I'm not going to play him because I don't think he's any good. It's like overthinking these selections. Like you should have probably brought Rashford to run in behind because they have no one to do that.
if you've everyone in the 10, having someone that's sprinting away from there would be very helpful.
And what's Foden's accusation this tournament? System player, needs Pep to hold his hand. What's Grealish's accusation at City? Too many X's and O's. Just let Jack be Jack. But you brought the other guy. You know what I mean? It's like if Jack Grealish would be like, he needs to simply fast as well. Grealish, he's not slow. I just think someone on that left side who can run, and I think Gordon can do that. I think they probably should play Anthony Gordon. I think they should probably play Bellingham deeper and Foden in behind Kane and tell Kane to stay up top. But just like, I think most managers they'll pick an 11 or a 22 and that'll go with their style of play. And like, as we've mentioned, sometimes they'll bring players who aren't in the best form because that's what they've been playing in the qualifying and this is the style of play we want to play. Yeah. But I mean, Southgate seems to have brought the best in-form players, the most clamour for players, and hope the style of play would like emerge as they were playing. Like, maybe this will work. Maybe Trent Alexander-Arnold will play there. I mean, it's just, it's very hard to figure out what he was thinking when he picked this team because he looks like he's left himself with massive gaps in his own team. Yeah. And like, honestly, if you told me that, he took over like a day before the tournament, it would make a lot more sense than he picked this team for himself and now he can't field a fit left back or someone on the left wing. It's insane. For Slovakia, it was almost one of their great moments, but not to be for them. England, though, will think they got knocked out by the Swiss in the next round?
It's hard to tell because Switzerland did blow Italy off the pitch. Yeah. But Italy also looked terrible. So it's hard to tell what was really going on in that game.
One of the worst Italy performances at a major tournament, I saw people saying. I mean, they made 6 changes before that game, which is very unusual for a manager to do into the knockout rounds, because
now it really matters. Everyone out.
I mean, this is what people are calling for Southgate to do, but at this point you're in too deep. It's like, okay, well, you gotta have some kind of cohesiveness here. 6 changes before the game. The RT panel, like, there's no chance the Italians are going to win this game. Like, this is a shambles. Before the game, they called it pretty much spot on. Yeah. And they said one of their midfielders is only back from a ban, like after a 7-month ban. Like, there's no chance to win. I was like, who's that? Of course, he was talking about Fagoli, Niccolo Fagoli. He was caught up in that gambling sting operation with Tonali. Yes. But of course, I looked at the team. I was like, maybe it's Cristante. So I typed in Cristante ban. And I found a mad story. Roma's Cristante at risk of ban after blaspheming in a Juventus draw.
Wow, you're not allowed to do that.
Not allowed to say blasphemous things in Italy. What's worse is, he's done it before.
Oh, he's a repeat offender.
He got done in 2020, 2021, a game against Torino, where he said, I don't know if I should even say it, maybe we should bleep this for our Italian listeners, cover your ears. He said, Porco Dio. Can you figure what that means?
I think so. I hope it's not what I think it means.
What do you think it means in English? What do you think the directionization is? Porco Dio.
Dio, I'm assuming, is God. Mm-hmm. Porco?
Yeah. Don't overthink it.
Like,
don't overthink it.
Pork God.
Pig God is what it translates.
Pig God.
Pig God, Porco, Pig God. The ref picked it up and went, what the fuck did you just say? And they called the police, I guess. Probably it's very illegal to blaspheme in Italy still, and he got banned for that. And he did it again. He just can't stop saying "pig god." So he was also playing Cristante and Fagoli, the bad boys of Italian football, playing in midfield, and they kind of got overrun by Shaq and Freuler in the middle. Freuler scored a great goal though. That was a great first touch, and then lashed it home. But yeah, pretty disappointed for them. I saw Stefan El-Sharawi got a start, and I was like, whoa, they're in trouble here.
I couldn't believe he's still playing for Italy.
and getting called up.
Yeah. I did see a lot of people posting, the old picture of him with like the massive hair.
Yes.
And being like, oh, man, like, and now I feel old. Like, this guy has a normal haircut. I've been watching football too long.
Yeah, he was the original star boy.
Yeah.
I mean, not the original, but you know what I mean? In terms of for our generation of like, this guy is going to be the guy.
Look at his haircut.
And he was like a small guy who was smaller than Messi and not as fast, not as skillful. and I could never understand the hype. I was like, he's like, we have a better version of him. Like how good is he going to be? But yeah, he had a good, decent at Roma actually, and he made the team. He made the squad. But he was actually not playing the first 3 games, and then I called up this game first out in tournament. Crazy decision.
Why would you do that? Like,
but he was around Germany. He was probably not thinking he was going to play. He was. You heard the story about him in Germany?
No, I don't think so.
He was in a bar in I think Berlin or I guess wherever they were, and he went up to some woman, and he was like, "Grab your coat, you've pulled." And she said,
"Really?"
And she said, "You're the forward, aren't you?" What else? What are the games we have then? Switzerland were through in that one. They look decent. Italy go out.
Did you write that?
No, I stole it from somebody else.
Pretty good.
I sucked you in though with the whole
Yeah, you got me good. I was like, oh.
Do you remember him? Do you remember El Shawari?
Very Norm Macdonald-esque there.
They call it an anti-comedy. Yeah. No, they went out. All the Italian fans were very unhappy with this. I mean, I saw a few previews of the tournament saying that quarterfinals at best this team. So no one had really much kind of expectations, but they managed to go below even that.
Yes.
So Spalletti, I don't know, has done himself much favors with the Italian media in terms of getting another job after this. I don't know if he's been sacked or if he still has a contract, but
double check that now.
He's a real disciplinarian. Remember he had that thing about nobody should play Call of Duty during the World Cup or during tournaments. You're here to play football, not play Call of Duty. And literally, he was like, "Oh, we need Buffon here to install the old ways." Yeah. And it's literally, Pirlo in his book is the greatest invention of all time is PlayStation. It's it saved me during these tournaments because I took my mind off all the outside noise. So it's you can be disciplinary, but if it doesn't even make sense, then it's just.
I just saw there Italy to stick with Spalletti despite the Euros exit, so he's not gone, which probably should be.
Yeah, I mean, probably an element of transition from the last Euros team. That was obviously 3 years ago now. They didn't make the World Cup. Probably need some fresh blood in, and yeah, it happens to all the great teams, I suppose. But they're out. Switzerland go on. Let's say they play England. This is kind of where Switzerland make it to, though. This is kind of as far as they go in the tournament. The kind of quarterfinals. Have they been to the semi-finals ever?
I highly doubt it.
Not this team. This is their most successful, greatest ever team. I don't know if they've ever been to the semi-finals. I think quarterfinals is as far as they've gone.
Yeah, they normally have one upset in them, but then things go back to normal.
Yeah, but like you say, was this even an upset? Italy were bad, never called beforehand. This is not a great team, and they've made 6 changes. I don't know what's going on here. There's obviously been some kind of falling out. He played Skamaka in the first game, dropped him, then brought him back, and then dropped him again. He dropped Chiesa at one point. Chiesa tried very hard to get something going, but it's a team game, I suppose. Kind of overrun midfield. So what can you do? I think the Swiss, they won't fear England. There's nothing to fear there. And there's gaps in that side to exploit. So you never know. But I think I'll probably still back England in that game,
Yeah, I think England are going to somehow go all the way despite everything.
I think they'll make the final.
Yeah.
I think they will. I could see them beating Switzerland and Turkey. Do you know what I mean? I'm already giving Turkey the win over Netherlands. But you know what I mean? I'm thinking if it comes down to that, I'm yeah, I could see that happen.
Yeah.
What are the games then? Was there that side? Germany, of course, played Denmark on that same day as well. Never really in doubt, that game.
No. Well, the game itself was in doubt at one stage, thanks to some biblical lightning.
Yes.
What I will say, probably a worrying sign for the climate was the commentators on RT. I can't remember who was on it, but they said, "Do you know what? In all my years of covered football, I've never seen this before." And I thought, that doesn't bode well.
Yeah, some seriously bad weather in Germany and France, and I think Switzerland as well over the Euros over the summer. Golf ball size hailstones. I see a few of those videos in America. They all play all the time, but never this side of the pond. The lightning pictures were stunning, to be honest.
Yeah.
And you only kind of saw them afterwards because, like, you're watching the game, the TV cameras kind of block out all the rain and the kind of bad weather sometimes. And then somebody see an angle where it's like it's buckling down. So kind of like the game was like stopped, like, whoa, what's going on here, you know? And then they came back on, and you saw the golf ball sized hailstones.
Yeah.
I will say one of the all time RTE moments of the boys trying to improv for like 10 minutes.
Their worst nightmare.
This kept cutting back to Kenny Cunningham and his Aldi bag underneath the desk. He was in a hurry.
Yeah, that's not their world, you know, riffing.
It's hard to riff, you know.
It is, yeah.
And I see it sometimes when there's like, because there's been a lot of late winners, you know. And I mean, not to call it anybody specifically, but a few of those RT pundits, they go with the, do you know, if that goal hadn't gone in, we'd be saying this, we'd be saying that. Like, you didn't, you had that written 15 minutes ago, didn't you? And you're just gonna, well, if you, in an alternate reality, you know, they didn't score that goal, and I'd be saying this. So it just shows you that I didn't prepare a second answer. So yeah, they're all very prepared, and even when it's a slightly off the script, it's like, oh shit, I just gotta stick with what I know. So yeah, talking about literally 3 men on TV talking about the weather. That's what we were watching.
Yeah.
Mute. I'll
call me when the game's back on.
I'll just watch the screen in silence until they start kicking that ball around again, then I'll turn it back on. But Germany, I mean, what do you say about them? And they're continually playing well. There's one issue in Germany, I suppose, the Havertz or Füllkrug, you know. Kind of a
debate as old as time.
Honestly, yes, because it's like, it's ideological. It's like Havertz is like kind of passing and moving and gliding, and then Füllkrug is like, you know,
big and lumbering,
smash it home, get amongst them, you know. But it's kind of like putting that sense. But Havertz is actually quite good in the air, so he kind of offers a lot of the same stuff that Füllkrug offers. But I think it's the way, maybe it's the name as well, the Z in Havertz, maybe Füllkrug. I mean, it's different philosophies in football. Some people want Füllkrug, some people want cool Havertz, you know, cool gliding Havertz. But he missed a great chance. The one where he was in, he tried to dink it over and went wide, and that's just like, oh, the Füllkrug people are going to be loving this, you know. And I think they brought them both on at one stage, trying to go for the game, trying to get the winner. So yeah, I think that's their only kind of sticking point. Everyone else is kind of like picking themselves in the team. Wirtz is kind of dropped out the side for Sané. Not good for our fantasy team, but nevertheless, I think it's the option of having, you know, do you go with Füllkrug or Havertz or Sané or Wirtz? Like, I think you'd be fine either way, you know.
Yeah, I don't think it makes, throw a dart at a board, you'll probably do fine.
Yeah, I think you go either way, you'll probably win the next game, lads, you know. Although they do play Spain in the next game.
Yes, they do.
Is this the final? I think the de facto final?
It feels like it. It feels like the next set of fixtures is like, all right, now we're talking some actual big clash of the Titans, and they're not boring.
Although they tend to be the most boring games, I think. It's like,
France-Belgium was terrible.
Yeah. You made a point, because I gave it a 5. You know, this feels like an 8 o'clock game, not a 5 o'clock game.
Yeah.
But it turned out
they knew.
Shouldn't even been shown. Should have caught the highlights of that game.
Fun fact, no highlights for that game on RT's YouTube channel. I was looking it up.
Yeah, no one's going to miss it. No one's searching that France-Belgium in Euro 2024. No one's searching for that.
No, we'll blast through that, because there's only 2 stories, really. 1, no goals for Lukaku in the Euros. Knew it. We could have called that. And 2 was De Bruyne after the game had it put to him. How does it feel to be the face of, you know, the golden generation that didn't do shit?
Yeah.
Basically was the question. And he had this to say.
But what is a golden generation? Yours. And you say that France and England and Spain and Germany is not a golden generation? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
What about France? I know they won loads of stuff, but they had a golden generation too.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, there's a lot of golden generations going around. I mean, this is Switzerland's golden generation.
Definitely England's, it feels like.
Well, remember England, because they've had teams in the past, like, and you might say they're not as good. You know, if only Scholes was here, he'd be able to take the ball from the bench.
Yeah.
But like, for Switzerland, this is by far and away their most successful run in terms of qualifying and getting to, you know, knockout stages. And it's like, that's fine, because like, you don't expect Switzerland to win the World Cup or win the Euros. But Belgium, I guess, because they had a very, very, very good team. It's like they should be winning the Euro. They should be winning the World Cup. But the same thing we beat England with. It's like, well, you've only won one. Have Belgium won the World Cup with the Euros?
I don't think so.
Yeah, we're like, we've won nothing, lads. It's like, yeah, same as everyone else. You know, it's like it's okay. Maybe they're better than Switzerland, or they're. I mean, who else has a goal generation? I mean,
Georgia.
It's Georgia's golden generation. You know, it's just that the standard seems so high for Belgium. Like, you should have won the World Cup in 2018. You know, you should have won the Euros in 2012, even though you didn't qualify for it. It's just like, I can see the frustration. It's like, why would you expect us to do that? We've never done that as a nation yet.
Yeah.
Now it's on us to do these things. You have to kind of build towards it. But it's also probably a bit of frustration, you know. And also, I thought we already had this conversation at the World Cup. Didn't he say we're too old?
It does feel like that across the board. Like, again, with Ronaldo, like, at the whole talk of the World Cup is like, this is it. The final.
Captains of the world.
Messi, Ronaldo.
Remember?
Captains of the world, this is it. One last chance for both players. And then they're just still there. They never retired. They're like, well, I did okay in that tournament. Ronaldo's probably thinking, like, go again.
De Bruyne's still there. Ronaldo's still there. Modric is still there, you know?
I haven't heard anything about Modric retiring either, by the way.
No, he's had like 2 Croatian careers. Like, just like such a long career. But yeah, Lukaku was the other one we mentioned in that little quick run over. I mean, he didn't score in the tournament. No, he scored 1 goal, didn't he? Or did he get an assist?
No. He got an assist.
Yeah. I always refer back to fantasy, but there was...
It's all points, yeah.
The goal that France scored, the own goal off Vertonghen's leg, another one in the Golden Generation, it started with Lukaku trying to hold the ball against Saliba, and Saliba pokes away, and then Lukaku just like stops, like, what kind of ball was that, boys? Come on, give it to feet. I gave it to your feet. To chest. Give it to chest. Can't do my own. Like, he lost the ball and stops and just pulls a face, like, oh man, like,
they're gonna score now.
yeah, like this, it's those kind of things. Like, anybody can be, you know, out battled by a better player. Like, I think Saliba is, at this moment in his career, is probably better than Lukaku. Lukaku is peak. We don't know, but right now it's like, yeah, Saliba's probably better than him. He's probably not going to get the better of him in terms of like holding him off, and, you know, like, was it last year he had a great game against Italy, Lukaku, against Chiellini and Bonucci, and he was holding them off, and he was, you know, laying it off the players, and, you know, his holder play was great. But I think it's just like, he wasn't as good against France and Saliba, but it's just the attitude after he loses the ball, like late in the game. It's like, this is where we need you the most, you know?
Yeah. Chase that, please.
At least look interested in chasing it, you know what I mean? But like, just to stop and like kind of almost roll your eyes, like, oh, God, the ball, guys, come on. Like, I think that meme of the guys like pointing at the ground, pointing at his feet. Like, that is what you think of a Lukaku Belgium. Like, why didn't you pass it to me? You know, I was in. And then they go up and they score. I mean, did you hear Didi Hammond like absolutely eviscerating them after the game?
Yeah.
Oh, anybody didn't? Here's the clip of that.
And you touched on the fitness of, you know, Lukaku. I don't know how many games he's played this season, but he hasn't looked fit for the last 3 years. I think it summed up his tournament today, because he's been given offside. He scored 2-3 goals where he was given offside by half an inch. Then Snicko judged a handball by Openda where he scored a goal against Slovakia. And this was just, centre forwards, they're streaky players. You know, they're centre forwards, they score for 5 or 6 games and then they go cold for 8 weeks. And then they score for 6 or 7 games again. And I think for him, it just summed the whole tournament up for him. Shall we say, was just rather unfortunate in the early games. And today, it is a mistake. He's got to do better. He's got to do better there. And I'm not sure whether he reflects on it. But when he sees that, I'm sure he'd admit he's got to make that ball stick and keep possession.
I mean, I think he's been listening to our podcast too much. I mean, he hates him.
Look, we get it, Didi.
Is he going to stay on, you think, Lukaku, or is he going to have one more disaster class in him?
Oh, he's got a few more tournaments left in him still, definitely.
Fucking hell. Yeah. I mean, the biggest thing, there isn't anybody else come behind. There's no like clamour for the other striker to come on. You know?
Yeah, there's no new Lukaku on the scene.
No, there's no. I can't think of a Belgian striker that's like pulling up trees anywhere. Like, he should be starting out Lukaku, you know?
Yeah.
They need Lukaku. You said that in the last game. I was like, maybe De Bruyne could do his own, you know? And De Bruyne had a few good shots on target, and he played a bit more further forward in the second half, and like, oh, maybe he might score a goal. I mean, if you look at his shots, I was like, that definitely was against Arsenal for some reason. that shot. But for some reason, it's a straight at Mike Magnon. And I was like, maybe he can do his own, but I think you said like you need Lukaku to have some kind of impact on the game if you want to win this. And like it was his lack of impact that conceded the goal. I was like, oh my God, like you can't really say cost in the game, but it's like that just it's a key moment to like not chase back, to like look disinterested, like, come on, lads, better balls than that. You know?
Yeah. What if I had scored there?
There has been some talk, Will, that France aren't any better than England. Equally as boring, less goals.
Yeah, they still are yet to score a goal themselves from open play, I think. Is that right?
1 penalty and 3 own goals.
That's mad.
I was
really crazy.
Once again, PSG stars coming to the fore. I mean, it's like Colin Moani. What's he going to do? You know. I mean, defensively they're very solid. You got him, and you got Saliba, Upamecano, who when he's not playing for RB Leipzig is a revelation. You know. Hernandez, the left back, really solid. Mike Magnon, magic Mike in goal. He did make some good saves. And then you got Kante behind them. I think it was like the 19th knockout game in a row that Kante's played and won for France. It's insane.
It's like he's just, I don't know, he's just like a type of player that every club or every country wishes they had. It's like, I wish I just had a guy who just, you know, you can't have the ball if he's on the pitch.
Yeah.
It comes in handy.
A Callum Phillips, if you will.
Yeah. He's who Gareth Southgate thinks Calvin Phillips is.
Yeah, I think you should have brought him anyways, you know, I really do. But yeah, I'm not sure. I think France we're still waiting for him to kind of burst into action. Mbappe had a few moments where it's like, oh wow, he's really fast, you know.
Whoa, look at that.
Whoa, that guy's fast on the ball, you know, and he nearly scored a few goals. I think we're still waiting for that to happen again. Which it can. We saw in the World Cup. Nothing. Bam, hat-trick in the final, you know?
Yeah.
And that's all it takes. You know, one hat-trick in a final, semi-final, they're there, they beat the best team in it, and then they win it. So I think France are a sleeping giant right now, waiting in long grass, very solid defensively, which is how they always have been, to be fair. They've always been conservative.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll wait and see them, see how they go. They play Portugal next round.
Portugal, yes. Which it's time to talk about the man.
Misstiando Penaldo. How have I never thought of him before?
It's a really good. They must have had that in the bank for a while. I mean, when I saw Ronaldo bawling his eyes out on the pitch, my first thought was, can we use another Ronaldo picture for the podcast? I think it'd be 3 in a row.
I know. I thought that myself.
How is that not the picture for this episode?
I know. I thought that like we shouldn't use the Coutscalio one last week.
Yeah, we blew it.
But this is it. This is literally his aura, Will. It's unavoidable. And they were talking about that.
Mentioned they were talking about it on television.
They literally were like I think they literally said the word aura. That he sucks players in because like 2 men around him and other players can score, and he makes a run and then they track him and other players can score. Like, yeah, that's what a striker does.
Yeah, that's literally movement. That's like the main thing.
That's not Ronaldo's aura. That's just a striker like who people aren't passing the ball to and they give it to somebody else. It's like, oh, I thought you were going to pass to him. But like no one's passed to him anymore.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that was the maddest display I've ever seen, I think, at an international tournament. It was just
I think so.
And I haven't watched every single international tournament. But it was just so obvious what was happening. Do you know what I mean? Like for the Georgia game in the group, which they lost, they rung the changes. All the second stringers in, and Ronaldo, of course.
Yeah,
the 39-year-old Ronaldo. I was like, why is that? And people are like, because he thinks he can score against Georgia, and he doesn't want to not score.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And of course, he didn't, and they lost 2-0. And I was like, oh fuck. Well, he still hasn't scored, so I can't not play him now. And he presumably said to Roberto Martinez, listen here, you bald fraud. I'm playing the whole game, no matter what.
120 minutes, no problem.
Yeah,
I'm emotionally able for it.
And like whatever, like he actually had good moments. He was linking up well with Rafael Leao and stuff like that. But the starkest thing was the free kicks. That was insane to watch. Like the first one, right, where he was in front of the goal and it went just over the bar, but it didn't glance the bar, didn't hit the bar,
wasn't that close.
Didn't hit the underside of the bar, they showed about 5 times, like, whoa, look how hard he kicked that ball, you know? Imagine if that had gone in. It's like, yeah, imagine, you know? Imagine if what? Like, I mean, it didn't. It's just, it's a pointless thing to keep showing over and over again. And then it was like, okay, right. That one was probably on. What was that, 4 more free kicks? 3 more free kicks?
I think so, yeah. Each at a more impossible to score angle than the last.
The one where they got fouled out wide and then he brought it in like a few meters to get a better chance at goal. And the ref spotted went, no, that's back there. And then he kind of like laughed maniacally, like, ha, you're testing me. You know, you'll have to do better than that. You know,
and you know who I am.
Like an anime character. I like. Then it shows the angle where he's kicked from. Like, that's never on.
Yeah.
Jimmy,
and he smashes it into the wall.
It's like there's a point where it's like, this is the range where you can shoot, and then this is the range where you got to clip it in. You maybe can clip it in if you want. If not you, then Bruno Hernandez, Bernardo Silva, Vitinha,
literally masters at this exact moment.
Cancelo. You know, like so many great like plays for the ball. It's like Ronaldo like does his run up, his stance, and it's like he's going to shoot, isn't he? And then shoots like high and wide, and then every time the ball they get a free kick, everyone's like looks at each other, and someone gets the balls and gets the ball and gives it to Homelander. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone's just too afraid to do anything, to say a word wrong to him. It's like, here's the ball, Ronaldo. But good luck with the free kick. What do you mean good luck? I don't need good luck. I'm Ronaldo. Did you see Portugal away in 2008? It's just been like what? How long is 2008 ago now? Probably people in this tournament who were born in 2008.
Careful now. 16 years ago.
16 year. So the same age as Lamine Yamal. So
yeah.
So when Lamine Yamal was born, Ronaldo scored that goal, and since then, the entire life of Lamine Yamal, he's been trying to recreate that goal against Portsmouth. And has never done it.
I did see some people saying that Pepe is several years older than Lamine Yamal's father.
Yeah. I mean, that was the real one, is that Pepe was nearly the villain. Despite Ronaldo's efforts as being an anime villain, Pepe nearly gave the ball away to Sesko. And only it was like the 120th minute, and Sesko, like you see the replay from behind the goal, Sesko looks like he's walking up with the ball. He can barely run. Pepe is like trundling after him. 2 tractors going at it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just trying to like shrug after each other. And then he just like tried to put it slightly wide. It wasn't a great angle, boy. You just knew the way he was running. He's not going around the keeper here. There's some legs.
Yeah.
He's just trying to kick this in.
Devastating for his potential €100 million move this summer after the Euros is wrapped up, I'd say.
Yeah, I saw people point out that he missed big chances for RB Leipzig against Real Madrid in Champions League as well. This is a pattern. He's got a bit of the Darwins about him, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, he nearly cost Portugal everything. But not before Ronaldo actually had a chance to score from a set piece, a penalty, in fact.
My God, I would say this is one of the most insane things I've ever seen. Yeah, in a football game, like.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously he was going to take it. We knew that from the free kicks attempts.
He's good at them too, to be fair.
He's missed a few in his career though, notable ones.
Yeah,
you know,
he's not as good as Bruno Fernandes at them, no. But he could score them
against Jan Oblak, who I don't know why I didn't see these stats floating around, but apparently they were floating around. Will all the times that he'd scored a hat-trick against Jan Oblak for Real Madrid and Juventus. I don't know. Did Jan Oblak have that up on his dressing room, on his locker door? The stats. He saved a few of the free kicks that were on target, not many of them.
Yeah.
And then, of course, it comes to the penalties. Like, Ronaldo loves scoring against Oblak. He loves doing it. I mean, Jan Oblak is just a really good goalkeeper for one. You know? Yeah, it wasn't that good a penalty. It wasn't right in the corner. It was at a good height of the keeper. Because he was nervous. He said, I have to score this. This is probably my last chance to score in the tournament. And also to put us through into the next round. And he had a breakdown after that.
He literally had a breakdown on the pitch, fully in tears. I don't think I've ever seen that mid-game in my life from any player, let alone fucking Ronaldo. It felt like, it was all hitting him that like, oh, maybe it's coming to an end. Oh, maybe I wasn't changing Saudi Arabia.
Everything hit him at once. every free kick that he'd skied over the bar in his entire career probably hit him once like, oh fuck.
This is my fault.
I've built this up against myself. I mean, I don't know if you saw in the stadium, and the commentators mentioned this as well, there was people in Juventus jerseys, Man United jerseys, Real Madrid jerseys with Ronaldo on the back.
Yeah.
Genuine Ronaldo fans with the Juve jerseys on from Germany or wherever were there to see Ronaldo score a goal.
Yeah.
So
you can't do it anymore.
But some of it is him. Like, I want to score a goal for myself, but I think he's kind of maybe he's not even aware of it anymore that he does have to play with these people as well. It's like, that's what people are there to see. You could fill the entire stadium with Ronaldo fans, just to watch Ronaldo's game in the tournament and see him score a goal. That's all they want to see. They don't care about Portugal winning. They don't care about anybody else winning. Just this is a chance to see Ronaldo. I'm wearing my Ronaldo jersey. I hope he scores a goal, and I can see I saw Ronaldo score a goal in real life. You know,
I want to do the Soo.
Yeah, the Soo in the stadium every time. That's all we want to do. So that's an entirely different spectator sport. Ronaldo versus Portugal in the Euro. So like he's doing it for himself, but he has to do it for them. You know, that's they're his fans. He has to do it for when he says the fans, it doesn't mean the Portugal fans, he means the Ronaldo fans, you know? But yeah, it all hit him. All the free kicks in that game, the penalty, the fact that maybe now we're in extra time and anything can happen. Is like, oh man, I fucked it. Whatever about during the game, and you know, he's the captain and he's the goal scorer, and you often see it, you know, it's like, oh, you need a goal to take off Harry Kane. You know, because someone's tactically, you just think, well, I think this might work better, you know. But I mean, in extra time when he has a breakdown, it's time to take him off. He's in the huddle and he's like in floods of tears.
This guy
take him out.
He's not tuned in right now. There's something else is going on here.
He's lost it here. It's over. He's overwhelmed with emotion.
Yeah, not what you want from your captain.
No, because everyone's looking at him like this is the guy we're meant to look up to and lead us. You know, and like
what happens in the next game now? Like, does
he go back imagine?
Take do they just all ignore that ever happened?
I would. I saw people making comparisons between him and Joe Biden.
Yeah, I could see. I get it. Yeah,
and Martinez is Jill Biden, putting poor old Joe up there to get one last run.
Yeah,
it's like, take him out.
We can take him.
Take him out. God, take him off the front line. This is just cruel, this point. Stop doing it to him. Yeah, I mean, like, whatever. It's funny for us to watch, and it's kind of insane, kind of watching Martinez pretend to do tactical stuff when it's like, I just got to keep Ronaldo on the pitch here. That's all I got to do.
Keep him, keep my job. That's how it goes. But
I mean, I like the Belgium. Oh, this is the end of the Belgium Golden Generation. It's like, I thought that already happened. I thought we already saw Ronaldo leaving the pitch in floods of tears. Well, this is sure the end of Ronaldo. Yet here we are watching this performance. Like, what is happening? Am I stuck in a time loop? We saw in the World Cup being subbed. Gonzalo Ramos scored a hat-trick. That was it, you know?
Yeah, but that was the moment. Where the hell is Gonzalo Ramos?
He's at PSG, stinking it up.
Well, I will say, something happened when he was walking up for the first penalty, the penalty shootout. Because when he walked up, it was something I haven't felt in a long, long time. I felt sympathy for Ronaldo. I thought, come on, man, you could do it. Come on, Cristiano. Like, prove them wrong. I think he's turned me back.
Yeah, I mean, credit where it's due. He locked in. You know?
He fucking rifled the penalty in. And then after, he put his hands up and he apologized for the first penalty. Yeah,
he locked right back in. We all say it, I just got to lock in. But he did it in record time. He just locked back in.
It was mental. Yeah, that is like, it's funny because obviously he's not the player he used to be. He had a disastrous game, crying on the pitch. But then in that moment where he scores the penalty, it does remind you like, oh yeah, he's like one of the best. Like his mentality is insane.
Well, that's what's got him to this point. 39 years of age, still playing, is the mentality, the discipline, all that stuff. So, I mean, that's maybe not surprising that he can still kick a penalty after his lowest point in his career, probably.
It was just mad because it was like for the first time in his career, he was human. You know what I mean? It's like the tiniest crack in his mentality And that was it. He was gone.
Never again. I mean, the only thing is, like I said, what happens from here is like the rest of the Portuguese players.
Yeah.
It's like someone like Rafa Leão, who was really good in that game, and he gets taken off, and Ronaldo stays on. You could see him; he's like looking back over the bench, like, "What the fuck? Like, why am I getting taken off? You scored a goal, and you're taking me off." It's like, it's funny and all that, but like he's 25, he's in his prime,
yeah,
and Ronaldo's going to cost him this tournament.
yeah.
Like they have a really good side. Like, okay, yeah, you might point to Pepe. Like, listen. Forget Ronaldo. You got Pepe there at 41 who's giving away mistakes. And if it wasn't for Sesko, if that was Mbappe, that was somebody else, like they're in. That's a goal. It's game over. So like they're not the perfect team, but you don't have to be a perfect team to win the tournament. That's the thing.
Yeah.
They have really good players. I mean, on their bench, Conceição and Pedro Neto and who's this? João Felix as well. They all have like absolute wheels. Like they're so fast. There's so much energy to bring off the bench. But it's all being surrounded by this Ronaldo thing. Like, we have to keep it on the pitch. We have to get Ronaldo playing. Like, if you're 25, 26, I mean, Bruno Fernandes is 30 this year.
I think so, yeah.
You look at this, like, this guy's going to
this is it.
Drag us all down with us. This is a good chance to win this, but it's not going to happen for them if what happened in that game happens against France. Ronaldo takes all the free kicks. And, like, grand, against Slovenia, it's like you get a lot of chances. You might get like 2 or 3 free kicks that might be good chances in terms of a set piece against France. And if he's like doing the lineup, looking himself up on the screen, and you're like, we should probably put that in towards like Ruben Diaz, maybe quite good in the air. No, oh, you want to take a shot? Right. Well, that was our only chance of the game. Now
that's it now,
because their defense is rock solid, by the way. So you couldn't score against Slovenia. You're not going to score against fucking Saliba and Upamecano and Kante.
There was a great example of it as well, where obviously Ronaldo missed the penalty during the game.
Yeah.
But then during the penalty shootout, Bruno Fernandes' penalty, he casually walked up and he just passed the ball and the keeper went flying the other way. It's like, how the hell did he do that? Why isn't this guy taking every penalty? He's just totally sent all black. And it's like, fuck, that's such a waste then if you're not utilizing this guy's fucking, he's so good at penalties.
Yeah.
He's made a career off them.
The only one who's better at penalties, and that is saving penalties, Diogo Costa, the real hero of the story.
The first time ever, 3 back-to-back penalty saves in the Euros knockout game, apparently.
Yeah, I was watching that. I don't think I've ever seen this, and I haven't. Not at Euros, anyways. I mean, it was crazy because Oblak had such a good game, and he'd saved the penalty, and everyone was saying, "Oh, psychologically, this is huge now for him against the other Portuguese players." Nope. And Ronaldo scores the first one. Maybe he lost psychological edge then.
Yeah.
And then, who was it? Hernandez scored the third one. And who scored the second one?
Bernardo Silva, who...
Yeah.
But when he walked up, I was thinking of, remember the
City one,
City Madrid game, where it's like, don't try that in fancy Bernardo.
Well, that City one, and everyone just told this lie. That was the first penalty of in his entire life. I was like, that was not true.
Yeah, remember that?
And then people just brought footage, like he scored in the FA Cup against Chelsea. He scored it as well. I was like, just mad lies on the internet. But yeah, like 3 really good penalties. That was it. He didn't save a single one. Or this is one, but Diogo Costa then saves all 3. And they weren't terrible penalties. They weren't like, bad Panenkes or anything like that. It was like decent penalties, just really good saves. Yeah. Saved Ronaldo's ass. Was really what happened there, And Pepe's ass. Both their asses.
A lot of asses being saved.
So yeah, I think Portugal will beat France if they go to penalties, but that's about it. If they make it that far.
I mean, that is set up to be an absolutely dire game.
Oh, yeah.
2 teams that can't score and are good at defending.
Do you think they'll drop Ronaldo or will they just unchanged side?
No fucking chance. Unless something awful happens where that crying was something else and he's not available for the game. I don't think so.
Dehydration from crying?
There's no way. Now he has even more people to prove wrong.
Yeah. Do you think there's more people who are on his side than against him or vice versa?
Definitely against him. I mean, the overwhelming majority of people on X, on football Twitter, no less, were reveling in the crying. People, like a lot of people being like, this is the greatest moment of my life. like seeing this guy finally lose and crack is just, the cherry on top of this tournament so far. But yeah, I was actually surprised at the overwhelming like enjoyment of it all.
Yeah, I think I just get so swayed by the supporters because some of the stuff. I think that post on X, I was crying laughing at this. It's just like it's a picture of Ronaldo in a throne. I think it may be AI, maybe half Photoshop, half AI. He's sitting there like stoically in like this €1 million suit, €1 million 3-piece suit with like a watch on. He's in this big gold throne, and there's an overlay of a goat in the background, like fade in the background, and then it's like the Ballon d'Or. If it was fair, Ronaldo 7, Messi 4. Don't ever compare them ever again. And like, oh my God.
What does that even mean?
If it was fair. It's like this like big king, like unbothered by everybody else. Yeah, well, if things were fair, I would have more of the popularity contest. It's like, what? Just this kind of blind kind of devotion to him. I'm like, wow, he has a lot of fans, but I guess there's a lot of people who are just like, past like, yeah, fuck you, Ronaldo. And that's it. That's all. That's nothing more than that. Like, delighted for him.
It's like the first tweet I saw about it, because when he was crying on the pitch, I was like, I have got to see what's being said about this. Literally, I opened Twitter and the first tweet at the top of my feed, also a real sign of how bad things are on Twitter, was that the only thing I'll enjoy more than Ronaldo crying is the day he dies.
Jesus Christ.
And again, first tweet I saw, and I was like, wow. So that's like the majority opinion.
Yeah. I actually, how's your streaming of this tournament? Have you been caught by any kind of like delays and hearing people cheer or hearing messages and that?
I watched a lot of it on the RT player, on Sky on the PlayStation, and it is constantly about a minute behind the rest of the world. So yeah, normally I'll hear something or I'll see something in the chat and I go, oh, here comes that. The moment I've been waiting for.
Because I got done for the Sesko chance where I was literally like this, sitting in the chair, my phone was beside me, and then the WhatsApp just like lit up the
ding 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 ding.
It just lit up the lock screen, but I got a notification, like just a one-word thing. It was like, ha ha ha, Sesko is shite. And then I looked back at the screen, and then
he's through on goal.
Like,
yeah, I don't think he's scoring this one.
Yeah, I don't think this one's going to be a finish here for Sesko. And I just like watched like, this could be the end for Portugal. This might be as far as they go, but there'll be something dramatic that happens as they go out, you know. I think there could be a mutiny though. I
don't know. I just don't see it. I like, it feels like a lot of Bruno Fernandes stuff. Like you see him with Ronaldo. It seems like they get on really well. Like I think those Portuguese players still, you know, they have the respect for him. It's like, whatever you want, King, you know, you've done it all.
I don't know. It's just like say Hernandez and Leao, like it's like this is a good chance. And after the last night's performance, you're looking like, are we just gonna let this happen? Is he gonna play again? Like this is a joke. They're taking me off.
It'll have to be his opinion or his choice before it's over.
Well, he like Joe Biden, he's sticking out to the very end. He's not stepping down. Well, he'll have to be dragged out of there. What else games we have then? Spain. We haven't talked about Spain, Will. Are they favourites for the tournament? Second favourites? Third favourites?
They're definitely the most exciting to watch. It feels like they're the only team in the tournament, and it feels like in a long time that I've seen where when they go a goal up or they're winning, they try to win by even more goals. They keep going. It's a novel thing to see these days.
Yeah, they had a bit of a shaky game there against Georgia, the Georgian Giants.
Yeah.
They went one goal down to Georgia, and as we mentioned, I think beforehand, maybe off air, like this could have been a typical Spain crashing out tournament in the last 10 years since they last won it. Russia, Morocco, just passing backwards and sideways and not going anywhere. But it was the likes of Nico Williams and Lamine Yamal who add that kind of directness to them. Obviously, Rodri got the was it the equalizer or the to go 2-1 up?
He scored the first goal, the equalizer. He scored the same goal he always scores, where he just arrives and then hits it low and hard.
I mean, he's probably one of the few City players this tournament who's done well.
Yeah,
maybe him and Akanji. And he really is the heart of the team as well. I mean, he's excellent for Spain. Yeah, like Nico Williams scored, I think, the the insurance goal. He scored the 3-1, which kind of puts it beyond doubt, you know.
Yeah.
But like this is what I'm saying about, like, imagine they need a goal. It's right, take him off. We just need to get the ball to Morata, you know. That's what Portugal did. Take off Leao and make sure that we get that ball to Ronaldo, you know. It's crazy because like they're the difference players, you know. When you're on a run and the team is tiring, you need someone that kind of pace. And I think it was the pace of him and Yamal that just kept running at them, had the fitness and the pace to keep going. They just eventually outran Georgia, who, as you mentioned, they played a full team against Portugal in the last group game. Spain got to rest all their players.
Yeah.
They played pretty much the same 11 for the whole tournament. They just couldn't keep going. Even though they went 1 up, and they had chances as well. That was the worst thing. They had chances. And I don't know if you saw the, what's it called? The Kvaratskhelia more than halfway shot. That was close to going in. They had chances. It could have gone 2-3 up, but once it got to 1-1, it was like, yeah, this is it now. This is going to be the way Spain are playing. Like they can find another goal. They found 3 more. And yeah, look, I mean, I think for Georgia, savage tournament. You know, first ever tournament, great success.
Well, we talk about the Euros where we went to goal up against France in the knockout stage.
Yeah.
That was enough for us. That was like, I will always have the moment where we were winning, though. I know we didn't, but
we still show that.
Yeah. Yeah, but like it'll be like that with Georgia. It's like for a second, they probably thought, oh my God, we're going to win it all.
Yeah, for a second, we were 1 up against Spain in the Euros. Who else can say that?
And Spain are the best team. Therefore, oh my God, we're going to win the Euros.
Yeah, we were 1 up against France. Like, you'll still hear that, like, in different audios and different videos, like Roy Brady. Oh, we're 1 up against France in Paris. You know, and then we lost after that. But we were 1-0 up. That's what it's about, you know, those moments. So, like, a great Euros for Georgia.
Yeah.
Hopefully it spurs on a new generation of Georgian talents. But yeah, they've been great for the tournament. Spain, as I say, you might think, well, of course they should beat Georgia, but they didn't beat Morocco, didn't beat Russia. So this is a kind of a turning point for them, maybe, that like, you know, we have the ability to overcome kind of weaker teams and break down defenses. So yeah, they'll take great encouragement from that, I think. And they get to play Germany next. Ooh. Yeah, that's the final there, isn't it, really?
It does feel it, yeah. And it's a game where it could go either way, really. I mean, I think they're both as good as each other. So
yeah,
I haven't said that, though. The whole German home crowd advantage, all that does tend to mean a lot.
Although I think Nico Williams versus Kimmich, I don't think that's a good matchup for the Germans. Yeah. And that might be where they exploit them. But midfield, Kroos versus Rodri. I mean, it's Man City versus Real Madrid again here, you know? Yeah, I mean, if we're saying, do we do all call the games there? No,
we still have the dark horse off.
The dark horse off, yeah. Austria, Turkey. Now, I think most of us thought Austria would come through this other group. They'd eventually get to England and run them off the pitch.
Yeah, that was what I thought.
I think a lot of people thought that, you know, but they weren't expecting a goal in the first minute by Demiral. And then another goal.
The exact same goal. Yeah.
And then the exact same goal 58 minutes after that.
Yeah, 2 assists for Güler to Demiral. And there was loads of chances from Austria as well. They had a chance cleared off the line.
Oh, at the end, that was the save of the tournament, I think. That was an unbelievable save.
The ball is already past the keeper when he dives. It's mental looking. And it was like you said, it was the dark horse off. Whereas, like, yeah, Turkey are usually dark horses, but it felt like that had waned because of their last few tournaments. They weren't great. But this is the Turkey we know and love. You know, they just somehow get results in these mad games and everyone counts them out.
Well, I was thinking that as well. That, like, we obviously had a microscopic view of Turkey for the last Euros.
Yeah.
Like, we were literally looking at like challenge games before the tournament, like look at the squad. Like, when's the squad coming out, you know? Like, no one followed Turkey as closely as we did, except for actual Turkish fans.
Yeah.
But like for most time, I think this tournament they were good. 2002 they were very good. 2008 they were very good. That audio in the theme music is from 2008 where they beat Czech Republic 3-2. in a comeback win. So they've always had this kind of like incredible wins, incredible runs in them. So I think that's why they always get the term of dark horse, because they're more often than not they do pretty well. But this is definitely one that I thought Austria might win. And Turkey were very good. No Çalhanoğlu, of course, in this game.
No Çalhanoğlu. Another great game from Güler. And yeah, they looked good. And I think people generally tend to like Turkey in tournaments. And I was too. I was watching the game and I thought, yes, this is what our boys, they've come good.
Yeah.
And Demiral, he threw up the too sweet. And I thought, yeah,
too
he's
sweet,
a wrestling fan. Yeah, NWO, yeah, woo. And then I saw he was under investigation. And I thought, that's strange.
Yeah, for what?
That might be a copyright issue maybe with the WWE. You can't use the gesture.
You've got bigger fish to fry, Vince. Don't worry about this one.
It turns out that Demiral is in a bit of bother because what he threw up was a hand signal for a group called the Grey Wolves.
Cool.
Who are described here on their Wikipedia as a Turkish extreme far-right political movement and the youth wing of the Nationalist Movement Party. Would you like to know what they're commonly described as?
Yeah.
Commonly described as ultra-nationalist, neo-fascist, Islamo-nationalist, sometimes secular and racist. So they take all the boxes. They've got whoever they can hate, they hate them, basically. And they're a very controversial group. They're outright banned in, that gesture is outright banned in Austria, who Turkey were playing. So people were like, okay, not a coincidence. They threw that up. They are classed as a terrorist organization in Germany, I believe, or they're trying to be classed as a terrorist organization in a few different countries. They're responsible for a whole host of awful attacks, and they're famous for attempting to assassinate Pope John Paul in the 80s. That was done by a
that was them.
Member. That was them, yeah. Their whole thing is, it's the same as all the far-right things. Turkey for the Turkish. Turkey for the Turks.
Right.
They hate all the other groups. And yeah, this being a competition in Germany, it's like, especially with the backdrop of everything going on in France at the moment and Germany and even Ireland, it's like, oh man, this is not a good look for the tournament to have him throwing that up. But so far, he's not under investigation. But like we said earlier, Jude Bellingham is, because he grabbed his dick.
Is there any chance he is just a wrestling fan? Or is that just too much?
It would be pretty mad. Apparently.
No, I'm sorry.
I love the NWO. NWO for life.
What does NWO stand for? New World Order? No, not like that.
No, not like that. I love Hulk Hogan.
The new Hulk. The old new Hulk.
So yeah, apparently Demiral has a history of some, far right comments and things like that. So yeah, not a coincidence. He threw it up. He threw up the wolf sign, and then 5 minutes later was handed the man of the match trophy sponsored by, I don't know, Budweiser or whoever. So not a good look for the Euros. Yeah.
Well, he's one of the only players who didn't get booked in the Battle of Hamburg.
That's
so
true.
He's got that in his sights,
Yeah, look, how bad can he be?
Yeah, that would be a loss for them to lose the centre back.
Especially a goal scoring centre back. We all love one of them.
Yeah, because they, as I said, didn't have Çalhanoğlu. He was suspended for this game from the Battle of Hamburg, so he couldn't play in this game. They had to kind of mix it up. So yeah, they have options, but not that many options either. I think they want their best 11. So that would be a huge loss to them. Huge, and Turkey's loss is England's gain.
Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking is like, that would just be exactly what happens, wouldn't it? Their best player from the game before banned because he gives a hand gesture he threw up.
So I guess Ralf Ragnick is back on fraud watch. Well, that
confirmed. Yep,
he's still fraud. Yeah.
Never had it. Yeah, Man United were right.
Was he right about Ronaldo though, or is he? It's hard to know. Hard to keep track of this, isn't it?
It's tough. A bad tournament for Man United, I would say. Everyone associated with the club looks like a fucking idiot.
Yeah, well, as you said there, like, he's a Turkey for the Turkish kind of thing. Like, Turkey is a huge immigrant population in Germany, so it's like a home crowd for them. So they score the first minutes. They're booing Austria every game. It's a different atmosphere to go into, Whereas if they played somebody else, they played Netherlands or Romania, they might have got the win. But I mean, they come against a pretty decent Turkey side. Led by star boy Arda Güler. And then, they nearly got the equalizer, and you never know. They could have gone on. They still had the energy and the fitness to go on at the end. But look, you don't have to win every game. That's sport,
Yeah.
How far do you think Turkey can go? Assuming that Demiral doesn't get banned because it's UEFA and they usually kind of push you out these things.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't see them getting by. They're playing the Netherlands next, aren't they?
Yeah. Will we talk about the Netherlands game first, maybe?
Yeah, we'll talk about the Netherlands first. But yeah, they're not getting by that, I don't think.
Yeah, the Netherlands looks decent. All right.
Yeah. Euros Gakpo. We was summoned and he has arrived.
Yeah, you'd make you wonder about what he's doing in Liverpool. They're not really utilising him, are they? They're not really getting the best of him, are they? I mean,
did you know also Darwin Núñez has scored like 15 goals in his last 6 games for Uruguay?
He scored a few goals in the Copa America for Uruguay, right? He's doing pretty well for them.
Yeah.
Look, let's not take the opportunity to take shots at a manager who's been retired for months at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, Netherlands, I think this tournament, I don't think they're good enough to win it, but it's going to be a big what-if tournament for them because of all the injuries they've had.
Yeah.
I mean,
because no one's really great apart from Germany and Spain. There's so much room, yeah.
There's no one's like, oh, well, if we play against them, it's like even Germany, I think if they had their full team, I think they had Koopmeiners and De Jong. Koopmeiners, De Jong, and who else are they missing? The entire midfield is basically missing.
Yeah.
And they're changed around. Like they're not playing Frimpong on the right because they don't want to be more solid defensively. I mean, I don't know. They have a decent side and they can score goals. But I think they're still just trying to like cover the gaps left in the team by all the injuries. They looked very good against Romania. Now Romania didn't look great, but nevertheless, I think they go on now against Turkey, which they, like I said, they could win. I could see it going either way. Again, it'd be a big Turkey crowd there, so we'll see how they react to that. But you wonder, they could do it. They would be one of the worst teams that's won it, I think, just based on like Depay. I think I saw a really mean headline. This is what happens when you play for Man United. It's like Depay wakes up unemployed before biggest game of his career. He's been
loser alert, Depay.
Yeah, because his contract ran out with Barcelona. So that's whatever.
As if he was surprised by that. Also,
like this has been on for months, But like he wakes up unemployed. Like he woke up like, oh, I lost my job. It's like, no, you didn't. Your contract ran out. You knew that when you left Barcelona a month ago that was going to happen. Like he's been locked out of the Barcelona training ground with all his stuff still inside. In a box, the Cara box outside the ground, like slowly.
My headbands.
Yeah, a box of headbands, the Cara box disintegrating in the rain in Barcelona right now. Do you know what I mean? Outside, like. But yeah, like they're not like on paper, they're not playing for all the best sides in Europe. They have decent players like Van Dijk and Gakpo, like you say. But I mean, still like Alexa Dale Bin come on and get minutes. So it's a strange one, but. They could go to the final. They could definitely go to the semi-final. I could see that from here,
Yeah. I could see them beating England.
I could see them beating Turkey and England.
Or I could see them also just being shite.
That's it. And if they lose, it's like if we had 2 or 3 more of our better players, we had more options then. We wouldn't have to play the pie, up front. I don't know. I feel like it could be a big what-if tournament for them. But they're doing better than they have in previous tournaments for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
For Romania, they look decent in the group stages, but that wasn't a group with Belgium, so hard to get much from that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's tough to judge. It is a lot of this Euros. It's still kind of tough to judge how good or bad anyone actually is.
They're also a team that, again, probably played basically the same 11 for the whole thing, so by the fourth game, it does start to wear on you a bit more. Whereas obviously the Netherlands have injuries, but they've played a lot of different players, and they brought on Mal and they're off the bench and got 2 goals. Didn't have to use Brodbury or Matson or De Ligt or Wijnaldum. So I think that's the difference for these teams when it comes to this stage of the tournament. But look, again, I wouldn't say anybody in Romania saying this is the worst tournament ever.
No, definitely not.
It's all about perspective. So. I mean, I wish it was us. That's all I'm saying. I'm just jealous of all. I'm looking at Romania and Slovenia and like Slovakia. Look at us losing.
There's
desperately.
Definitely room for an Ireland there somewhere.
How are we not in this tournament?
Through the cracks. Yeah, this is bollocks.
Yeah, so I mean that's the matchups. Then we got Portugal, France, Netherlands, Turkey, England, Switzerland, Spain, Germany. Definitely a stronger side of the draw there, for sure.
Yes, absolutely.
I think England probably get through that somehow. But they are good enough, but I think there's just...
Well, they're boring. They're not scoring. But
Yeah.
also, no one's scoring against them either.
No. But have they played anybody? They haven't played anyone as good as Gakpo, have they?
No, I don't think so.
Or Chanoglu. Or Guler.
No. Demiral.
Or Demiral. No, I think it's hard to know. That's how the draw is. It's a tough one to call. I think on the other side, I'm going to say that probably France gets through that. I think they're doing the France on it. They haven't scored a goal in the tournament and then the quarterfinals. That's insane. That's what winners do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it feels different to England as well.
It does because it's with an air of assurance with France that we know what we're doing, and their
it's
defense
never
is
in
solid.
doubt. They're not doing well, but it's never in doubt.
Yeah. There's not a lot of creativity being used, but I mean they're very solid defensively. Where England are a bit shaky defensively.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think France probably come through that somehow. I think Germany get to the semi-final, lose to France, and I think Turkey beat the Netherlands because of home advantage, and I think England beat Turkey on penalties or something like that.
Oh boy!
And then it's going to be England France, and I think France will win it. I think that's what's going to
I'll be
go.
alright with that. Yeah, I called it.
I think that just look at the teams there. That's what I'm going to go with. But that could be completely wrong. Spain will beat Germany and Portugal, France, and then Turkey beat the Netherlands and Switzerland beat England. I think all those things can happen.
A Turkey-Germany final would be good.
The only thing I can't see happening, honestly, in the next fixtures is Portugal beating France.
Yeah, that's if it's the Ronaldo show again. If he's even on free kicks, that's like you said, that's a huge disadvantage.
The only way Portugal will beat France on penalties, and I don't think they'll get that far. But I think Netherlands, Turkey, either way, England, Switzerland. Again, it could go either way. You got one team has objectively better players, but one that's played together for a long time, really well organized, working as a team, not shouting at each other.
Yeah, it makes a difference.
And then Spain and Germany, the two most informed teams, that could go either way as well. So, yeah, it could be a France-England final, but it could be any other scenario as well. So it's really hard to know. But that's what makes a good tournament, that there's not just two teams that are definitely going to win it, Now, speaking of leagues where nobody's running away with it, Will.
Mm-hmm.
We have our fantasy football league. I'm sure lots of you are listening to this now or in it. We have a new person that's taken top spot. Boys in the Hood.
Yes.
Alex, with your copy and paste name from last year's Premier League season. Very, very unoriginal, Alex, but I can make fun of you for that. But not your 94 points this week. Very impressive. Very nice.
Very good, very good.
He sits top on 272 points. Second, though, Will, it's surely not a three-peat.
Yeah, he messaged me this morning.
87 points. He's 1 point off Boys in the Hood. So
how does he keep getting away with this?
He knows his stats. He's a stats guy. He's your brother. Third, then, joined second actually on 271 points on the Benjamin Seshko's. He wasn't the only person on the Seshko's. Looks like Seshko himself on the Seshko's. Maybe cost you in that game. Jakey drops down to third. He's on joined second, as I said. And then it's 269, 264, 264, 260. It's
all
not
to play for.
It's all to play for. There's 12 points in between. This is where, it's going to get really tough. You get more players from each team. But, say you have Gundogan, Wirtz, and Sane. Or who's the person I go? Musiala.
Musiala, yeah.
Say you had three of them. The odds of them all scoring are small. So, but that's the thing. You could have Wirtz, Sane, Musiala, and then Gundogan scores. And you're like, oh, fuck, and it's 1-0. So like this is where it's like the points they've inflated massively. So you get like 20 points in this round, that could be huge, you know, because it'll be like a 10.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think defensively is where it's going to be at this round, boys. I think it's going to be all about clean sheets, man of the matches.
Man of the matches are huge. Yeah.
Virtuoso midfielder performances. This is what happens at quarterfinal, semi-final time. So I mean, your Bellinghams, you know,
Yeah.
that's the kind of players who will get man of the matches from this point out.
Honestly, it's funny because the man of the matches a lot of times are based on the narrative.
100%. 100%.
You got to be watching the off the field stuff. Is everyone talking about Harry Kane? If he has an okay game, if he scores a goal, guess who's winning man of the match?
Like Diogo Costa got man of the match. His best moments weren't in the match. They were in the penalty
match was
shootout.
over.
But they gave man of the match anyways. That shouldn't really count. And we had him, so I'm not really complaining. I'm just saying it's like your goalkeepers. You know what's a good man of the match candidate in this round, Will? Granit Xhaka.
Yeah.
He's going to get man of the match if they win because it'll be because of him that they win. You know.
Yeah.
Him, like Koundé got man of the match for basically not conceding goal against Doku.
They just picked one. They picked one at the back.
So defenders, midfielders. I mean, if there's a 1-0 win and there's no other great defender, maybe the score. I mean, Gakpo's got one goal in that game. He got man of the match.
Yeah.
You know, it's just it's the man of the match is 3 points as well. So that's like your bonus essentially. But yeah, look, it's all to play for. For our lot, Will. We are up to 29.
We had a great week there. It was quite disheartening to see. Like, I think we got the third most points in the league. I think we moved up 4 positions.
I think we're now at the top of all the players who stopped playing.
Yeah, 100%. We are still in the show more section though, which is tough.
Yeah, I think I made it from that guy Beef Corey, whoever the fuck his name is, James Beef Corey. He has continued to bury us on the table. He's 25th. We've spurred him on. He was second bottom, and he's like climbed the table after my making fun of him. So yeah, look, we're 186 ahead of us. 189, 190, 185. I mean,
we're off the bottom. That's all that matters.
Realistically, we might get to mid table. I mean, top 10 would be huge.
Yeah, that's our goal. I think
that top 10 would be probably. Yeah, we're less than 100 points away from top 10.
That's a big turnaround.
we're 60 points away to be approximately 6 points. So I don't know, but yeah, look, the winner is yet to be announced. I think we might get in contact with lads at the semi-final because I might shake out then get those jerseys requests, get them locked in. Importantly, so you can't be changing last minute for the winners. Yeah. So look. Keep playing that.
Do it. You're in the league anyway. Whatever.
So yeah, that's going well. For our next episode, we will be back after the next round, which will be on
Sunday.
So it's what, Friday, Saturday, Sunday the games are played?
Yes, I think so.
We might have a Sunday record sesh, right?
Yeah, I think so. And then episode probably out early Monday, if not Sunday afternoon.
That'll be the Ultra Only episodes. You want to get on that. Link in the description of this episode. $4.50 a month. You get access to all our previous Euro episodes plus all the Premier League episodes we've done over the last 3 years as well. So, and look, I know for us, Will, there's kind of there's a bit of talk. There's some kind of rumblings of a 5-a-side happening. I think people are really getting this Euro spirit. 5-a-side coming up. I don't know what I'm going to wear.
Yeah. Well, like, I'm not going to wear a United jersey.
No.
No. Can't
No.
be doing that. Pathetic to be doing that at Euros time.
Unless it's like cool retro jersey. Is it a retro jersey?
Oh, I don't have one, but where could I possibly get one?
If only there was a place that you could buy cool retro jerseys or even new jerseys if you wanted, or international jerseys, club shorts, club tracksuits, club tracksuit bottoms, goalie gloves, match-worn goalie gloves if you're a complete psychopath.
Yeah, they're full of sweat.
You want to fucking sniff Jordan Pickford's sweat off his gloves. Boys, do we have a website for you?
Yeah.
Footballshirts.com.
Classicfootballshirts.co.uk.
One of them. Try them both.
The link is in the description. You don't need to know who types in anything anymore. You just click the link.
Yeah, there's a link in the description of this episode, an affiliate link, so no discount, but
Yeah, not full price.
we get some of the profits.
Yes.
We get like 10% or whatever you spend. So, yeah, if you're in the market for a classic shirt,
If you're getting one anyway.
if you're getting anyways, and like I said, there's the new season shirts are starting to come out as well. They're all on that website as well, club by club, country by country. So if you're in the market for that, if you want to use our link for it, you'll be supporting the show a little bit. Failing that, 5-star review on Spotify.
Yeah.
If you think
Come
it's
on,
5
you have to do
stars.
something.
You can't just sit here, listen to us for an hour and a half, and you're just going to walk away. You're not going to buy a jersey. You're not going to subscribe to the Patreon. You're not going to give us 5 stars. Okay, well, no, do whatever you want, but there's options to support the show. You can also like turn this off and never listen again if that's what you want to do. So
We'd rather you do. Hopefully, that's the fourth option, like in the list. There you go for. Yeah, keep continuing doing nothing is actually fine.
yeah, there's always a choice to do nothing. You know, lead, follow, or get out of the way. That's what they say.
We don't know who the hell you are. We don't get those kind of stats.
Yeah. So yeah, we will see you Monday morning probably. Next time we see you after the victorious games. After the
It's been a long episode.
Yeah. So we'll see you after quarterfinals, where we'll watch England stumble to glory and Turkey, with their home crowd advantage, meet them there in the final. You don't think they'll send us out of the draw?
What hand gestures will be thrown up this week?
Yeah. Okay. Have a great week. Bye-bye.
Bye.